Can you guys hear my audio? There's only so much time. There's only so much time. Got it. Now that was just crazy, right? So the video on the live show that I had the chat up on, I bet it sounds a hell of a lot better now, doesn't it? Damn it. This is what happens when you take a week off right here. How about now? Is it better now? There we go. Wow. Okay, so what I'll do when this is done is go back and trim the first couple minutes of this. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Cryptopolis said, what's up with the theology audio? How about it, Cryptopolis? Guys, Cryptopolis has got a new channel that's just fantastic. You want to make $1 million? You need to start following this guy. Okay, because he's going to show you and let you track his progress on things that he's pursuing. And by the way, I said this the other day, and we got a response or two. But if anybody out here is a freelance writer, just to put this out there again, and you're interested in making a few extra bucks, anybody interested in doing 500 to 600, words an article, you basically will be, pointed to the articles, and you'll rewrite those articles for a project that Cryptopolis is working on. So reach out to him if you're interested in that, or me, and I'll forward your information to him like last time. And if not, then make sure you go over and subscribe to the new channel, because I'm all about making money. And I tell you something, man, Cryptopolis is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to crypto, investing, the economy, and all things finance. So definitely make sure you go over and participate in that. No doubt about it. Okay, so we should be good with the audio now, right, guys? We're good? Everybody happy? Everything's golden? Right? Joni says, please welcome my baby sis, Kathy McClellan, to this group. She's number 8 of the 8 kids in my family. I'm number 4. Wow. Now, that's even more than the Brady Bunch. Now, Joni, what do you talk to mom and dad, figure out where these things come from? No, I'm kidding. Kathy, welcome to the fam. It is great to have you here. I see all of your comments under the videos that we've been doing, and it is a pleasure to have you in the crew. There's no doubt about it. This is a wonderful, wonderful audience. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you are first time in here. We're very close to 16K. Spencer H is in this house. He says the audio and everything is now right. This is what happens when you take a couple weeks off to work on a documentary. So just real quick again, if I could, and then we're going to get on to today's events, things I want to talk about today. But, we are working feverishly to get this thing in order. And let me tell you something. I've been doing the rough paper edits for those who didn't catch it with the double audio, which I'll go back and trim out. But nevertheless, we have made great progress, and I'm getting ready to send another huge rough draft paper edit with all of the interviews broke down to different minutes and sections, right? Everything. From, people at conferences to the creators and founders in the space to YouTubers, you name it. We're breaking it all down. So the last big chunk of it, I think, will go out today. And then that will all be laid out in chapters for Mike Jansen to go ahead and do the beautiful work that he does. And I couldn't be more excited. And Frank, we have missed you too, buddy. I have missed the live shows, and I will say we will be doing live shows, but I am going to change them up, and I am going to make them a little less often, because there has been, huge analytic data showing me that you guys actually want the smaller, shorter videos, and the numbers are clearly reflecting that. So I'm going to honor that, because you guys definitely watch a lot more of that content. However, I love doing live streams. I love being a part of the real-time participation with each and every one of you. I learn so much from each and every one of you. And we have that opportunity to interact. And I have been looking forward to it and miss you guys greatly. XRP Motley with a $2 donation. We appreciate you today. And it might have been an older one, but I just want to mention it if I remember. Yeah, we fixed it.
Oh.
Yeah, that was early on, right?
Okay, got it.
Yeah, well, I think we got it straight. Thank you, Mrs. Backup. So Mrs. Backup's got a lot of stuff going on today. She thought we still had the audio problem, but I think we're good on that now. So, yeah. All right, so SP Hunter says XRP has way too many coins to go anywhere of significance. Trade to make money, not because a project appears to be great. I've lost so much just holding XRP. SP, you bring up something that is a constant that I see constantly on Twitter. Now, I want to tell you, just first of all, SP, that you have a right to feel however you want to feel about it. And if you are a trader, I think you've picked the wrong coin to trade. That's for sure. But if you're a long-term investor, and I think it comes down to that. I think it comes down to what you're comfortable doing, right? Where you're most comfortable. Are you comfortable being a trader, like a day trader or a swing trader over a few days? Or are you more comfortable being a long-term hold, an investor in that way, 3 to 5 years, 1 to 18 months, that kind of a thing? I personally am a investor. I've done day trading in years past, and it's just not my thing. Now, that doesn't mean that there's a lot of people that trade and they do it successfully, and that's great. But I'm a buy and hold kind of guy, and look, I'm not trying to change anybody's mind, SP. You can do what you want, right? But to say that this is not a good investment, I think is a little over the top on your part. But nevertheless, it really comes down to that discipline. And there's two things that make that choice, right? One, who you are as a person, and are you comfortable doing such a thing like trading daily? And two, what is it you plan on trading? I don't think there's anything about the characteristics of this asset that says it's a day trade kind of coin. In fact, I think if you do your work and your due diligence, I think you'll find out that this is one of the worst opportunities to day trade, because it's designed to be very reliable, right? And not have the volatility that all of the other assets that we see. Now, Bitcoin, I think, would be a great thing to trade, especially knowing you can short it now, right? So I think there's huge potential out there all around. You just got to make sure you know who you are, and then you have to make sure you know what you're investing in and what that product will provide based on the characteristics. Yeah. Okay, SP Hunter says, I'm not saying it's not good. Well, fair enough. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, there's the other side of it too. Now, Mickey B. Fresh says they created 100 million drops per XRP. I thought it was 1 million drops per SRP, Mickey. But nevertheless, either way it falls, it is still a lot, right? It is still a lot. It is still a lot. Yeah, and I think ultimately that is the goal. I think ultimately the goal is to reach a place where, here's another one too. Yeah, okay, and I want to add this in for SP because he makes a good point. I got into crypto to make money weekly, monthly. XRP is awesome with speed and price to send. Exactly. Yeah, and I know you get it, SP. I do. This is a conversation, right? No one's being combative, right? But yeah, SP makes a great point. So his goal was to get into the space and make money weekly and monthly. Well, that means, XRP could be good for a bridge transaction for the exchanges he's looking to make. In and out, settle quickly if there's pairs for it. So, but at the end of the day, he's looking to be in things that move enough throughout the week that he can pull a profit by scalping. I love it. That's great stuff. Okay, Mickey does confirm 1 million. You're right, Brad. Okay, it's no big deal. So 1 million drops per XRP. Well, let's talk about that because I think that's going to segue us into the IPO bulls conversation. Everybody, give Mickey B. Fresh a shout out. That video we did last time was fantastic. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Okay, so I think that with the growth of the asset and the crypto space, because I'm going to tell you something, I don't believe XRP grows without the entire space growing with it. And I think that's one of the safe things that I find about the investment itself. I feel like it is not a standalone investment. I feel like XRP is not just a digital asset. It is a digital asset that is going to be a part of the framework of the entire digital asset space. Now, with that being said, when I think of this whole thing coming together, I think that, you know, I recently, Professor Sen left a comment, and he, like many others, are concerned that they will rule in favor. Who will rule, right? Regulations or some sort, governments or whatever, could rule that we are not allowed to hold XRP. This has been something that we have heard off and on. This gets stoked up. I had covered it over a year ago extensively on this channel, and actually to the tune that I was able to get Dilip Rao, when he was still employed with Ripple, to respond back to ease those concerns for me and all of us. As you remember, he gave an analogous answer that really gave the ocean and big fish and little fish, and it takes all kinds of fish to make up an ecosystem, as it does for Ripple and XRP. I'm paraphrasing, but nevertheless, it was the reassurance that no matter what size you are in this market, you will be able to remain. I do believe him. I believe him, and I believe that approach. The reason I believe that is because you constantly see them building use cases that are making XRP more and more available. Whether it is building base currency pairs like BitTrue, or what CoinField has done, or whether you're talking about Sologenic, where you can now buy and sell and hold traded stocks, tokenized versions in fractional amounts on Sologenic, and you could choose to cash out on there and choose to get your token payout in either the Solo token or XRP. If XRP wasn't going to be available long term, I would think they would have headed CoinField and Sologenic off at the pass and said, love your business model, but we don't intend to make it available long term for just the regular Joe. But that isn't the case. That's not the case at all. In fact, the opposite. In fact, what I see, like I said, is more and more use cases and more pair matching to make it available. What I do see is that through the process of walking towards this IPO at some point, is I see the ability to put it on the public stage and elevate the attention to it, and then push more value into the company Ripple, the blockchain infrastructure company, and XRP, the token. Now, with that being said, there's a lot of other things I'm leaving out, but let's stay focused in this area for a second. I made the title, you know, will IPO bulls turn the market? I believe in great form. The answer is yes. Now, we know that in January, Brad Garlinghouse had loosely made comments suggesting that they intended to IPO within the next 12 months, over the next 12 months. I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said, we don't intend to be first, we don't intend to be last, but we intend to be leading. So in my eyes, it would appear to me that he is expecting a couple, at least someone else, to IPO before him. In that situation, the first thing I tend to think of is Gemini and Coinbase, because they just got offered banking services with JP Morgan. The same JP Morgan that just a year or two ago was saying, I'll fire anybody working for me that's trading or selling or buying Bitcoin. What a difference the time makes, right? This is really, you know, the macro, right? The macro understanding of what's happening here. And we're going to get into this, and we're going to get into the video that Brad Garlinghouse did and that as well here in a second. Mike Morath, thank you, my friend. Always appreciate you and all your comments, each and every one of you. Hit that like and subscribe on the way in, guys. You know, this idea and notion that we are getting closer to an IPO, let's face it, Brad said over the next 12 months, you know, they would intend to IPO, not be first, not be last, but expect to be leading. Well, that was January of 2020. Okay, well, you know, as Mickey B and I have discussed, the S1 filing and the prospectus period is about 5 to 6 months, sometimes a little sooner, right? But usually, generally speaking, about a 5 to 6 month process. If they intend to stay on track, they would need to file right about now to get that prospectus process in place to be able to IPO by the end of the year. That is my understanding there. That would also mean that other entities potentially, possibly, and I'm using this as an example, not saying they have to, but I'm using this as an example like Gemini or Coinbase, which would make sense that eventually at some point they may potentially IPO, right? Or even Circle, right? We'll see. You could, you know, I'm just throwing the examples of Goldman Sachs company, Circle, you know, these other entities that could move forward and submit their documents right before Ripple does, right? And then Ripple soon after. So I think between now and August is a very good time to keep our eyes peeled, and I check almost daily here to see if they've submitted anything new. But I believe that that process beginning, which is not far away, for somebody, if we're 6 months into a year and he expects not to be first, not to be last, but to be leading, he already is well aware that somebody or somebodies else in this space are going to before him. And he's already aware of that to be able to make that comment. So there you go, right? Cryptographics, great to see you, my friend. He says, crap, I'm late. I have one job. Great to see you, Cryptographics. Oh, goodness, that is amazing. Guys, don't forget, you know, if you're in a place where you're looking for some merch, you know, what's better than owning crypto? Owning crypto life gear, merchandise, apparel, right? Be able to show your friends and family what's actually going on, right? Without showing them your holdings. Show them your merch. That's right. Show them your crypto life. All right. So it links in the description if you're interested. And don't forget, got great stuff down there for all of you guys that are looking for great deals and things. But let's get back to this IPO here. So if they IPO, it puts them on a new public stage. Institutional money will be moving in here in massive form. Accredited investors are already positioning to get in on Ripple and Ripple stock pre-IPO form. We saw that from the interview and the connection that Link2 has made with bringing DAI and myself and Mr. BXRP into their circle. And that is exciting because accredited investors are very interested in this space. And this is that, you know, ability to raise funds before you get to the actual IPO process. I want to explain to people really quickly why there's companies like Link2. Because I want to make it clear, Link2 does buy blocks of Ripple shares from permission from Ripple. They have their permission to be able to do this. And when they do this, it basically is held in escrow. And then a lot of people are like, hey, whoa, I want to physically hold that. I understand that, but there's a reason for that. The reason that it's put in escrow, one, it allows you to fractionally buy in. And I'm sure there's a minimum there, but nevertheless, you're allowed to fractionally buy where you can't otherwise. Number two, the other big thing is simply this. If they were to sell to each one of you, if Ripple were to sell stock privately to each one of us, they would exceed a number that would force them to start filing all of that information publicly before becoming a publicly traded company. That's a hassle. And this is why you have companies like private equity, wholesale companies like Link2 in between as the middle person. And this is why they hold those shares in blocks in escrow. So that way, this helps Ripple raise money, provide the opportunity to people like you and I, and you can participate and buy in, but it keeps Ripple from having to file publicly before actually going public, because the escrow is held within the private equity company Link2. Now that is a very encouraging understanding to me about what Ripple is doing. One, they're giving permission to Link2 to buy these shares and pick them up from shareholders, right, and employees. Number two, they understand that they do want to go public, but they want to go public when they want to go public, right? So they're using the effectiveness of a Link2, right? It's really, really incredible when you start to understand these things. And I want to share as much as I begin to learn these things, because I didn't know this before then. I want to share this information with everybody who doesn't, so we understand the process. There's nothing malicious or, nefarious about it going into an escrow. Once you understand the reason for it, you understand that the Link2s of the world are there to aid Ripple in their process and path on the way to an eventual IPO. Very exciting stuff. Okay, so moving on from that, Mike Morath, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And I just want to share this as I learn, because I'm always learning. I'm a constant student, and I think that's the best way to stay in life, right? It's just to be the constant student. All right, so moving on from that, keep an eye out, not just for Ripple to IPO, keep an eye out for the Geminis, the Circle, the Coinbase, right? All of these companies are poised for this moment. And if there is going to be a couple companies go before them, I would imagine a couple that I mentioned are good candidates for that option. It brings us to the public stage, it brings the attention to the product, and it is going to be nothing but beneficial from where I sit. It's going to be nothing but beneficial for the whole crypto space to have IPO'd, publicly traded companies behind the tech. I don't know why this has been so difficult, honestly, out on crypto Twitter. I mean, there's been so much difficulty in this conversation sometimes. It just fascinates me. Okay, so going on from that, let me get into the chat a minute. Guys, hit the like and subscribe. Almost 400 people in the stream already. XRP Heart, all from the Netherlands. Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, Sleepy Pepper is right. She is sleeping on the daybed in the other room. I'm telling you. It's unbelievable. Big E XRP is in the house. He says, Brad Himes, you guys were invited to Swell for a reason. DAI was on a call interview with Greg Kidd, investors for a reason. 100 billion XRP. Absolutely. No doubt. Big E. Great to see you, my friend. Jamie Lachowitz, thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. Got withdrawal from Coinbase to my bank same day. Oh, I remember this, Jamie. I'm glad you're sharing this again. I emailed them asking if they use Ripple, XRP, Stellar, or XRLM Tech for customer withdrawals. They said they need more info and didn't answer. No comment at this time. Jamie Lachowitz, thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat, my friend. Appreciate you so much. And this is the stuff we're talking about, right? I mean, we're getting very close to finding this information out. When these companies begin to move towards these things, the S1 and the prospectus period is going to reveal an enormous amount of this information, because it has to be revealed. Okay, here we go. Joni, I did. I'll welcome her again. Joni, welcome Kathy McClellan, baby sis. Welcome to the family. It might have been during the double audio that was going on when I said it, and I apologize for that audio. I will go back and snip that out. By the way, if you do not know and you're a YouTuber, if you're going to trim out something on a video, YouTube will post the whole video until the trim is done processing. Make sure you know that. I did not know that. till recently, and I'll never forget it. But I'll tell you this. Keep it listed as private or unlisted until you get the trim done. That's a little side note from your Uncle Brad. You know. Welcome to Joni's sister, Kathy McClelland. You make some great comments underneath all the videos, and I see every one of them. So welcome to the show. Welcome to the audience, and we love your insight on the comments under all the videos. I do try to read every one of them as much as I can. Okay, so let's keep going here. Frank Lavelli from Delaware, holding it down. Frank, great to see you. And you know, guys, I'm still holed up in the house. You know, they've all but lifted everything around here. You still have to wear a mask in my area, Mid-Atlantic area here, but I have not gone back to playing music full time at this point. I'm not convinced. I am not convinced. So that's where we're at with that. All right, guys, hit that like and subscribe. 400 people in the stream right now. 416 Crypto is in the house. It's so great to see all these names and all these people. I want to remind everybody as we pay attention for this IPO process as we're moving right along. Excel Telematics, great to see you, and always great comments in the videos, under the videos, my friend. The FATF, the international regulatory body that is connected to the G20, just as is the Financial Stability Board, also another regulatory body connected to the G20. Deadline, first deadline for KYC, AML, and travel rule is in 10 days. June 24th. Now, I can't predict what the impact will or won't be of that, but I'm excited to witness it. Again, the regulations from the FATF are guidelines. They are not laws, but the FATF does make it clear if they don't like the way you're doing it and you're not following it, they can gray list your country, import exports, and then blacklist you if you don't get with the program. So that guideline is something you're going to want to do. Now, what they will say in 10 days is going to be pretty interesting. I will say that we have seen a lot of different companies pop up of late that are like a third-party service that exchanges can adopt, like Chainalysis and other companies that are out here that offer to be this like front firewall for the exchanges to make sure that they understand that all the customers coming in or out are KYC, AML, and no illicit transactions. It will be interesting to see in the next 10 days if we get a full-on report, or after that next 10 days when we hit the deadline sometime after, if we get some kind of a report that shows us who is actually in compliance and who isn't, and what will be the fallout, if any, from that. Mickey B. Fresh reminds us that is it coincidence PolySign app came out on App Store 2 weeks before FATF deadline? Great stuff, Mickey, as always. Yeah, it really does make you wonder, right? Things that make you go, Great stuff, Mickey B. Yeah. When you're talking about, let's go to that. Let's shift to that gear because Mickey makes a fantastic point here. When we're talking about KYC, AML, travel rule compliant, right? Combat financial terrorism, all of these different stipulations, we have to address the other issue in the room as well, which is custody. What is any of this space if we don't have a custody solution further than hot and cold storage? We need to have a insured custody solution, and more importantly, in doing so, we can decentralize these exchanges a bit. You know, currently right now, no matter what your favorite flavor is, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, or something else, You can claim that your asset is decentralized as you want it to be, but you have to go to a centralized location to get it, and that's an exchange. And unless you already have it on your phone, you went to an exchange to get it. That is a centralized location where it is handling it for the buyer and the receiver, and the custody is all happening within house. That does not look like the traditional markets. And in order for this space to really take off, I think to Mickey's point, we have to see a further development in custody to begin to provide the separation that is needed, not just for, Wall Street institutional investors, but Main Street also. A solution that banks could then begin to participate, not hold your crypto, but use, let's say, a PolySign or a Standard Trust and Company situation. Use those companies to house the crypto and have the offering, and then just offer you the products itself. Hey, invest in these 5 crypto. Maybe it's maybe they start offering some kind of a basket of crypto as an investment product or something of that nature. I mean, who knows? But I think the point is that we're not far from seeing. Here's the reality. If the FATF guidelines are making exchanges banking compliant when it comes to KYC, travel rule, and all these other things, I think we have to understand that banks are not going to stand around and be handicapped and allow exchanges to begin to pursue private accounts, savings accounts, right? And other things of that nature. They're not going to sit around and idly watch that happen. Now, banks drag their feet when it comes to innovation in tech because they're not innovators. I understand that. But the reality is the moment you start bringing other companies, non-financial institutions, non-banks, into that kind of level of compliance, to a level playing field, as everyone likes to say, you are going to begin to inspire the banking world to begin to offer crypto to its clients because they have the credibility to Main Street. They have the credibility to where, look, if you're in this stream right now, you are a speculator. You're a pioneer in this space. You got in this space, you bought a crypto on one exchange, you converted it to another if you were in that far, like it's most of us back in the day, and and then you got it on some on exchanges, some of it's on cold storage on a Ledger Nano S, the whole bit, right? But the reality here is that if you in fact are sitting on the sideline because maybe there's a lot of people out here that I know are like, look, I think the stuff's interesting, but I'm not going to open up an account on this. What do you call it? Coinbase or Binance? I don't even know what that is. They're too scared to make that jump, right? Forget what the reasons are because it's a long list. But the reality is we are speculators to be in this space this early. You want to get people from their regular jobs and get them to participate in crypto, you make it very easy for them that they could do it right from their bank account. I think that's coming. And to Mickey B's point, with PolySign releasing the app, and they have said that they intend to launch this year also. Now, they're a private company, so they haven't spoke about an IPO, but they said they intend to launch. And that is extremely interesting. Kwee LaRue is in this house, and Doc Callum, and TJ Jackson, and Stack and Zerps, and Rising Green. Well, I'll tell you what, it is a Hall of Fame show. That is a list right there. And Lucas Carter's in here. They need a bit of motivation, Lucas says, and I tell you something, I think Lucas has nailed it, because I think that's exactly right. I think more than the deadline of the FATF, when you start seeing how many exchanges are actually compliant, I think the banking world starts looking at it and going, whoa, all of these non-banks are compliant with us, our level of compliance? I think that's when you start getting in the race, right? I think you start heating things up and the bank says, what do we got to do to start offering some of this as a product to our customers? I don't want to see anybody going out of this door to go in that other door to get it. These are the things that we need to see. And I'll tell you something. Isn't this a real sign about how early we are or not? And let me ask you something. Would you rather be early to this party or would you rather be late? Yeah, let that one sink in. Hit that like and subscribe, guys. 450 some people in the stream right now. Spencer H says institutions have built out something that they are comfortable with in order to move forward and play in the market. Exactly. Poli-sci. Shh. Yeah. You know, I see poli-sci, and I've said this before, and this, I could be wrong. I'm completely speculating when I say these things too, by the way. But, you know, some people believe Ripple goes on to be a bank. I'm not so sure. Ripple's been a lot of things. They started off as a software company, fintech company, and now have graduated to a blockchain infrastructure company. Now, I personally believe that poli-sci will be that custody solution. And so essentially they could be like a new central bank with global governance. I totally could see something like that happening. And I think functional wise, outside of custody, you may even see them be similar to like a clearinghouse as well. Because if they're custodying all of this, couldn't they in fact be the custody solution and settle through the pool, you know, of that custody? I don't see why they couldn't. So I don't know if that's right, but I'm just telling you something feels right about that to me. So they could have like this, you know, the new digital payment rails. You got, if you're custodying huge assets, and I believe that they become the comptroller of the remainder of the escrow of XRP. Now, you guys know I've never been shy about that. I've been saying that for over a year. So that's just something I personally feel, and I'm excited to see. Hey, if it's right, we'll make a video. If it's wrong, we'll make a video. You know. But yeah, that is something that I'm interested to see if it happens or not. No doubt about that. On our way to 500 people in the stream. Hit the like and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. We're getting close to 16,000. Getting close to 16,000. Yeah, absolutely. Digital asset investors in this house. He said, stop hyping, Brad. Yeah, you know, we're not allowed to hype, DAI. You know that. You're not allowed to believe in anything, right? Yeah, you know, we catch a lot of flack for believing in it. Isn't it something? It's unbelievable. Guys, shout out DAI up in this stream. Absolutely smashed that Greg Kidd interview. Straight fire. For some strange reason, if you haven't watched it, go watch it and see if you think Greg's hyping or not. Because Greg's just laying it down the way he feels. And he's an investor, for God's sakes. Yeah, 1 billion XRP. Yeah, that's the kind of seat Greg's got at the party in case it works out or not. A former Federal Reserve worker, payment specialist, and, you know, 4 massive colleges, Yale, Harvard, Stanford, you name it, you know, invested in Twitter, invested in SquarePay. I mean, you know, Coinbase and Ripple. I mean, you know, just saying. Yeah. Amazing stuff. Great to see you, DAI. Good morning to you. Kelly Slade, who's always on fire with news. Good to see you, Kelly Slade, XRP Florida as well. And Rod Hop is a Hall of Famer. He has been throwing me some straight fire lately too, my friend. Let's see. Relative Martian's in here. Good to see you. Who put cinnamon in their coffee this morning? I like cinnamon in my coffee. I could tell you that. Yeah. Guys, we wrote a theme song for Kryptonaires, and I used a lot of references in the song that reference YouTubers and also verbiage that we're just familiar with in the space to just kind of bring everybody in, to try to touch on everybody as much as we could. No doubt about it. Coin Pimpin' is in this house. Great to see you, my friend. Brad, keep bringing that fire. You better believe it, Coin Pimpin'. And you too, because I've been seeing your tweets, man. I love it. I absolutely love it, man. You lay it down. No doubt about it. We're all going to have a big party one day after it moons. Yeah, and it'll be a nice ticketed party, right? So we all know that we got people we want around us because there'll be a level of buy-in that there's not going to be any trolls there, right? It's going to be a good party, too. Yeah. Jerry Hall, great to see you. He says this custody issue is exactly why the Saudi central bank is issuing XRP, is taking the leap into XRP, but it's coming. Don't believe it. It's still true. Pura Vida. Yeah, sure is. It sure is. There's no question about it. Crypto Siege, ain't nothing wrong with a little hype. Yeah, well, you know, and it's not really hype if you believe it. I mean, like if people watch the videos, like all the stuff I'm showing them isn't like, you know, it's not like it's like me just saying it and leaving, right? I mean, I'm showing PDF files from the World Economic Forum, you know, and all of those other places. It's like half the time the people that say that don't even watch the video. You know, they see the thumbnail, and because you've put something exciting in the thumbnail, they just assume it's clickbait. You know, most people don't even understand the definition of clickbait. Clickbait is when I say, watch a woman get eaten by a shark, and then you go in there and I try to sell you Jergens lotion, hand lotion, right? Or soda, right? It's like, that's what clickbait is, you know. It's like, show me what you're saying you're going to show me, and it's not clickbait. But most people just use the term very loosely, and I'm comfortable with it in these days for sure. I know one thing, I'm not going to capitulate. The market can, and the crypto Twitter can, but not this guy. I know what I hold. I know what I hold. No question about it. Kevin Streeter is in the house. Good to see you. First time on here, Brad Hines. What up, my man? Holla, fellow crypto keepers. Yeah, good to see you, Kevin. Glad you're here. Guys, hit the like and subscribe. 470 people in the stream. You know, I wanted to come on today because it's been a couple weeks since I've been on. I've been working very hard on the Kryptonaires documentary, and I couldn't be more excited about the progress that we've made. And I'm about to send all this information, and it will be really in Mike Jansen's hands, and he will be putting together that first round edit for Dustin and myself and him to look at, and then really kind of whittle down on what needs to happen and kind of get closer to that finalization on that process. We will keep you posted. Looks like a late summer finish, but you know, but we'll keep you posted on it. I mean, I can tell you this, it's going to be fantastic. And I can't wait, because I don't know what it's going to look like at the end either. I just know who's going to be in what chapter at this point, right? So very, very excited to get that done and to bring it to everybody and just see those moments that have been captured. There's so many amazing moments that you're going to see. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man, exactly. Crypto Siege. I'm not a fan of that kind of hate. We need all kinds of content creators. Exactly. I'm like, you know, if it's their channel, you know, I let them do what. I'm like you. I'm like, just let those people do their channel how they want to do their channel. It's like, I don't understand it. It's not that difficult, really, right? But I think what happens is people get frustrated with their investment, and then they start taking shots at other people to make themselves feel better. But the reality is it doesn't change price or the market conditions, right? So onward we move, right? That's how we do it. Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. Brad, you speak straight fire, sir. Thank you, Rising Green. Always good balance, realistic perspectives, respect for always keeping it real. You better believe it, Rising Green. I certainly try to. And when I make a thumbnail, it's exciting, like Ripple's about to explode. I really believe that. I really believe that Ripple will begin the IPO process probably sometime this summer. And if I'm wrong, we'll make a video about it and we'll reanalyze the information. But based on the loose remarks that Brad Garlinghouse said in January, they intend to IPO over the next 12 months. We're getting ready to we're 6 months into that year of that 12 months. So I would expect any time now, if they want to IPO within the 12 months time frame that he planned on, pandemic notwithstanding, right? Plandemic notwithstanding. I just feel like, you know, this is a real opportunity. We may be seeing that filing coming very soon. And because he said they weren't going to be first or last, I would say head on a swivel. This is crypto. You never know. We're probably going to see a few other companies head out the door right before they do. And that's exciting. Listen, think about this. Post-IPO news, right? Let's say it's Circle, right? Or Gemini or Coinbase, just as examples here. Are you kidding? The conversation and what that's going to do to the crypto space? Now there's going to be publicly traded companies. You talk about a new backdrop to a conversation we've been having for a while. Whoa. Massive. That's the way I see it. Quee, good to see you. He says, I'm sure I speak with many others here when I say we appreciate your insight, that hard work. Oh, thank you so much, Quee. You're amazing. Very much appreciate you. Your comments are incredible, and you're always an amazing contributor to this channel. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Always appreciate everything you do. Let's see what we got here. Catherine McClellan, good to see you in the stream. She's jumped right in. You are Joni's sister, aren't you? Yeah. And I'm glad to see it, too. Minas Parable says those stocks rocketed on speculation. Yeah, you know what? I can't wait to see what goes on. I really can't. Guys, we're almost 500 people in the stream. Hit that like and subscribe on the way in. Getting close to 16,000 subs here. Let's keep on pushing. Yeah. Absolutely. Peter Vass makes a good point about, $6.5 trillion was pumped into the .com market. Come on in. Now, just the .com market he's talking about. Great stuff, Peter Vass. If you're not following Peter Vass on Twitter, you're making a huge mistake. There's your point right there. We are literally analogous to the .com era. In fact, it's one of the big talking points within the Kryptonaires documentary. Everyone acknowledges that we talk to in that space. They're like, this looks exactly like this. This looks exactly. It's over and over and over again. Now, what you think about that number he just floated out there? $6.5 trillion floated into the .com era market. I want you to impose that number on top of the crypto space right now. $6.5 trillion, and just in your mind, distribute that money evenly across the market. Unbelievable, right? Capello MG says, Brad, have you gotten the MasterCard? No, I have not. And the program is interesting. Okay, I'll have to check that out. I am not aware of that. So, okay, maybe there's some crypto-related information in that, is it? Yeah, Sober Slap says, I am strapped and ready for the moon. You and me both. In 1995, 10 trillion in today's money. Even better. So imagine an even 10 trillion flooding into this market over the next, let's just say, 2 years. And just as a quick side note, and what do you think, okay, would happen to the money, the 10 trillion that would flood in this market like the .com era? What do you think would happen? Do you think the majority of that money would go with a bunch of startups? Or do you think the majority of that money might go backing companies and the tokens that have been IPO'd and are now public traded companies? Where do you think the bigger advantage is? I'll let you decide. Yeah. IPOs like Ripple will be like a tsunami, rising tide, raises all ships, etc. Citizen XRP, fantastic point, my friend. It's exactly how I see it. This is nothing but good for the space. It takes the conversation of crypto to another legitimate level. Just like the regulatory clarity we need and regulatory framework that continues to be developed. By the way, here's another one. In 10 days, we're getting the FATF deadline for KYC, AML, and this all business, right? Well, remember, when the FATF came out last June and said that this was even in effect, within 24 or 48 hours, Steve Mnuchin backed the guidelines from the FATF because they come from the G20. Wouldn't it be ironic to see Steve Mnuchin and the Treasury Department come out after this deadline and release FinCEN guidelines either right before or right after this deadline that further impose and enforce the FATF guideline deadline? You know, he did say a couple months ago in a congressional hearing when asked about new regulations for digital assets that they would be coming very soon. Might it be very soon? All right, guys, I am going to hop off of here. Remember, we're going to do some live shows. They're going to be less often than they were, but we are going to keep doing them, but we're going to put some space between them. We will still do the Friday show with co-host Cryptopolis. We're going to get back to that because I think that is really a great show. And like I said, we'll figure something else out as well. But the numbers are clear way showing that everybody really does enjoy the quick, easy content. And I don't want to lose contact with this beautiful audience, and you guys are amazing. So I will definitely keep some happening, but we will be a little more loose about how we do them because I don't want to lose touch with you, and I love having that real-time access with each and every one of you. All right, guys, a lot of really great stuff coming up. Keep an eye out for more information on Kryptonaires, the documentary. Keep an eye out for IPO news anytime throughout this summer for not just Ripple, but other companies as well. Go like and subscribe Cryptopolis' new channel on how to make money. And I'm going to tell you something. If anybody knows how to do it, this guy knows how to do it. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Hit the like and subscribe. Put your name in the stream. I'm going to shout you out. General Mills, dismissed. I've missed the salute, my friend. Rocky, good to see you. Spencer H, as always, my friend. Kwee LaRue. Gerard Knight, good to see you. Peter Vassa, my glasses, my eyes are getting so bad. TJ Jackson, Mike Morass, Sin City. Lucas Carter, Kwee LaRue. Rocky 1942, Raccoon. Cryptopolis, can't wait. Miss our Friday shows. So do I, Cryptopolis. So do I, and I cannot wait. Peter Vass, TJ Jackson, Michael O2, maybe sober, maybe not. Rising Green, General Mills, dismiss, my friend. Holtzer, good to see you. Baskel Man 1, Jan DeJong, good to see you. SSK, Stephen Lenker, and Ron the Crypto Keeper, and Kwee LaRue, Kelly Slade, Stacking Zerps, Jackie 33, Anthony Booton, good to see all of you. So many familiar faces. Jim Fritz, Excess Trust, Damon Law, good to see you. Jay Corn, morning. Quinn Pimpin, don't you ever stop. Tone Vase, look, good to see you. Sin City, Rising Green, Johnny Chow, and Crypto Frenzy. Natalia Gila, good to see you as well. Citizen XRP, as always, great stuff today. VTX, Chick D, Clovis, Mickey B. Fresh, my brother. Yeah, Paul Van Campen, TJ Jackson, Mike Stevens, and everyone else. Brian Kim, Peter Vass, you're amazing, my friend. Juan Brito, and Catherine McClellan, baby sis, is in the house. All right, guys, Sac Towner and Sin City, XRP Pharaoh. Guys, have a wonderful day. Enjoy your Sunday. We'll catch you on the next one.